I want to ask about a survey, moving on here, and thanks for your input on that, about RIAs and advisors, because that's the heart of this whole ETF game. And VettaFi, you guys regularly go out and survey advisors. You're very much on top of what the advisor RIA community, and you had an interesting survey out. I want you to share this with us. What percentage of your portfolio is allocated to ETFs? It's a pretty simple question. I was surprised at the answers. It says here about half of the advisors are using ETFs for more than 25% of their portfolio. I guess you call them power users, diehards, whatever. But a quarter are still dabbling. They only have 10 to 25% of their portfolio in ETFs, and a quarter have 10% or less. Is this a little surprising, you, Dave? I would have thought RIAs would be using ETFs much more heavily just because they're just so much more cost effective. They're cheaper for clients. You can still charge reasonable fees. I don't know. Or maybe am I wrong? Is this... How am I supposed to read this data?
No. I think we have to keep in mind that when an RIA is dealing with a wealthy family, right, there's a portion of the portfolio that we think of as their portfolio, their investable market portfolio, stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds. But remember, they're also dealing with cash management. They're also dealing with real estate and trusts and retirement accounts. And in those cases, things like their clients' retirement accounts, trust money, those may be allocated into private funds. They may be allocated into mutual funds. As we well know, the 401k market is still massively dominated by traditional mutual funds. So I don't find it that surprising. I think it's interesting to me that there's basically nobody not using ETFs. It's just a question of how far along on that adoption curve they are. We've been asking this question at VettaFi now for years in our predecessor companies, and I will tell you that number of people who are in the 25% mark goes up year after year after year. So I don't think we're ever going to end up in a world where it's 100%, but I think we're rapidly approaching a world where half of most advised portfolios are in ETFs.
Yeah, that makes some sense to me. I mean, what you're saying on 401ks makes a lot of sense. I tend to talk to the RIA community that's most actively involved, the old guys who left Morgan Stanley and Merrill Lynch to set up their own shops, and those people with the clients they're taking tend to be using ETFs. So there's a sort of self-selection process that's happening with me. But your point on 401ks make a lot of sense. Dave, thank you very much.